Traditional evangelism styles aren't working the same way anymore, at least not here. It's time for a new kind of evangelism. It's time to nudge. I became curious when I noticed that my community of flat track roller derby is growing in leaps and bounds, and at the same time, church is shrinking. My mentor, Len Sweet, pointed me towards his book, Nudge, and it gave words to things that I had already experienced as true. That stepping out and telling people what they should or shouldn't do isn't working. But when I go out into the community and just live the God life, sing the God song with everything I'm worth, then people become curious and I see God everywhere. And then things happen. People show up and the church starts to grow. Nudge evangelism is not about telling the story. It's not about presenting it to anyone. Nudge evangelism is about living the story every day, all day, wherever we are. It means embodying the gospel story. It means being a part of the healing force of Jesus Christ in this world. Nudge evangelism is not about helping people to be converted to Christ. Nudge evangelism is about seeing Christ everywhere that we are and helping others to embody that always. Bidden or unbidden, God is always present. And in nudge evangelism, the idea is to live in that presence fully, with every sense in our body and in every way. When we do this, we don't get measurements in nickels and dimes or in our numbers. When we do this, our measurement of success comes in the amount of healing that is happening in our communities. It comes in the amount of community that is forming and how people are spending time together. It comes when people feel less alone, less frightened, more hopeful, and free. Free to live the life that God has created them to live in joy and in hope and in astonishing embodiment of the promises that we have been given. As you invest in your communities, as you gain trust and learn how to love each other, one of the first overt ways that you're going to know whether or not this kind of evangelism is going anywhere is that you'll start to get some questions. People will ask you about your faith practice. They'll ask you questions about what you believe. Now, it might be that they're picking on you. They might send it to you like a razz, or they might really just be wanting to pick an argument. Remember that your call is to listen. Listen to their curiosity. They're not asking questions of you for your answers. They're asking questions for themselves and their own heart about God. Keep it focused on them and keep pointing out that God is already in their lives. Maybe not in obvious ways like, well, I see God in your life because, but more along the lines of, well, what do you think the divine is doing in your life? Where do you see God? And turn it back. You know, Jesus always did that. Jesus answered questions with questions all the time. So when that starts happening, do the same. Bring those questions out and let that curiosity just flourish. Don't give clean answers because that shuts people down. Just feed that curiosity. Keep nudging. Your next step is to think back on your life. Reflect back. When was the time when someone asked you a question or was curious about your faith life, not because of what you said, but because of who you are? Think back to that. And then set a timer. Spend 5 minutes in prayer, reflecting and giving thanks for that experience and for God's wisdom and guidance to show you how to handle that the next time it happens. If you can't think of that opportunity, then spend that prayer time asking the Holy Spirit to give you the courage to live your life in this way, that this is going to happen. And open your ears and your heart to hearing those curious questions and being able to respond to them with loving curiosity yourself.